It starts with a classic courtroom shutdown, a defendant who declares the judge has no authority over him, but that's just the warm-up. Today we dive into a docket overflowing with financial desperation and staggering consequences. First, we meet a woman who embezzled over $120,000 from her employer. 13 years later, with an $80,000 debt still looming, she's running out of time and excuses. The judge isn't just looking at the numbers, he's looking for the truth, and his line of questioning is about to get brutally psychological. Then the stakes get even higher. A man on probation for a first-degree felony is failing to pay his victim back. He claims he's struggling, but the judge delivers a chilling ultimatum that puts life in prison squarely on the table. Finally, a father faces the music in family court, where years of unpaid support have snowballed into a debt so massive, the final monthly payment will leave him in absolute textbook sovereign citizen-style argument. The defendant, identifying only as just Aaron, immediately tries to reject the court's legitimacy. "I don't give you authority over me," he declares. This is a common tactic among individuals who believe they are not subject to government laws or jurisdiction. They often use specific pseudo-legal language hoping to trip up the system. But watch how the judge handles this. He doesn't engage in a debate. He doesn't argue about jurisdiction. He simply acknowledges the non-plea, which the court treats as a not guilty plea, notes the existing bond, and moves on. This is a masterclass in judicial efficiency. By refusing to give the defendant's rhetoric any oxygen, the judge maintains control and prevents the proceedings from devolving into a sideshow. For just Aaron, his attempt to control the narrative just earned him a continued bond and a future court date.
097349 is now called. The state of Texas versus Teresa Hammonds, and the defendant is present with her attorney and the state's attorney.
With that brief but telling encounter concluded, we pivot to a case that has been dragging on for over a decade. This isn't about a small fine or a minor infraction. We're about to meet Teresa Hammond, a defendant who has been on probation since 2010 for a massive act of embezzlement. The core issue, as the judge states, is all about the money. But this is more than just an accounting problem. It's a story of broken trust, slow justice, and a debt that has barely shrunk in 13 years. The motion before the court has been pending for 3 of those years, and the patience of the justice system is clearly wearing thin. As we join the hearing, the prosecution is about to lay out the cold, hard numbers, and they paint a grim picture of just how long it will take to make the victim whole again.
We've got a motion that's been pending now for 3 years, over 3 years, and it's all about the money.
Yes, sir.
The defendant has been on probation since December of 2010, so we're going up on, well, we passed 13 years now. The arrearage as of November of 2020 was $100,608. How much is it now?
It's currently $81,527.
So it's taken 3 years to whittle it down 20,000. Everybody do the math on that.
You know, this
We'll
is
be
one-
here for another 12 years.
This is another one of the situations, Your Honor, where once you ask for her tax returns and incomes, so you can verify, and she provided all that to you, and she's been making as much as she can each month.
I don't know what the updated situation is. Do we have any, are we updating her financial status?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budget sheet from October.
Okay. Well, how often do we do that? Every year?
Yeah.
Yeah. And will anything change?
I know this upcoming year in June, she's no longer going to be receiving child support in the amount of $935.
So that's your income's about to go down, Your Honor.
Well, I mean, so what else do you do during the day, though? To earn?
I work
Okay.
in the Gregory,
Where?
the Gregory Law Firm for Bruce and Meyer Gregory.
Okay. And, well, I mean, how much, what are you earning on that?
Gross is $3,000 a month. Take home, go 12, 44.
Okay. At the end of the day,
The math here is just staggering. Teresa Hammond started with a restitution order of $125,000. After 13 years on probation, she has only managed to pay back $45,000, leaving a massive $80,000 still owed. Her attorney tries to paint a picture of a model probationer, stating she's had no violations, she's been doing well except for making the payments. This is a truly remarkable statement. The entire point of her probation is centered on repaying the colossal sum she stole. Saying she's doing well except for the most critical condition of her sentence is like saying a pilot had a great flight except for the landing. The attorney's argument is essentially that she is compliant in every way that doesn't involve fixing the primary harm she caused. It's a bold defense, but as we're about to see, the judge isn't buying it. He's about to cut through the excuses and get to the heart of the matter.
When we consider all income and necessary expenses,
Yep.
how much can you pay a month?
At the end, right now, at the end of the month, I have about a little less than $300 a month left over after paying rent.
Do we
insurance.
have a minimum she has to pay per month,
She had,
500.
which we're not reaching?
No, I am every month.
You're doing 500.
Yes, sir.
How can you do that if you just said, this is arithmetic?
that,
You just said
she's taking
three.
that out of that. She has 800 before she makes the $500 payment.
Right, that's
Or a little,
included in that.
little SV. So after she makes the $500 payment and all of her expenses, she has less than $300 left over for other expenses and other things. But like I said, or like the probation officer just said, in June or the end of May, but beginning of June, her income's actually going to be going down because she's going, our child is graduating high school, her young child. So she no longer.
This is the moment the hearing turns from a financial review into a psychological examination. The judge asks the most obvious question, where did it all go? Watch Teresa's body language closely. She looks away, and the judge immediately calls her out on it, explaining the psychological tell that suggests she's searching for a convenient answer, not the truth. Her explanation is that she was married at the time, and the money went into her ex-husband's gym, which has since shut down and its equipment sold. While this may be true, it sounds like a well-rehearsed story designed to deflect personal responsibility. She effectively blames a failed business and a failed marriage for where the stolen $120,000 vanished. The judge seems entirely unconvinced by this explanation, leaving a heavy silence in the courtroom. The money is gone, the excuse is weak, and the debt remains.
Be getting child support, which is included in her income. Here you are. And how much is your child support right now?
930.
Okay, so
What
yeah,
was the original amount of restitution? You remember?
It's $125,000.
Okay, so we paid 45,000 on in 13 years. And there's still 80,000.
right. And I would like to point out here that otherwise she's had no violation. She's been doing well, except for making the payments. The only reason we're here today is because the payments weren't all made within a 10-year period. But she was paying what she could and continues to pay what she can.
Actually, we're here today because you embezzled
Well,
$120,000 from your employer, which is a ton of money.
The court ultimately decides to give Teresa Hammond another 6 months to demonstrate her commitment to paying down the $80,000 debt, but the gorilla is still on her back. Now we shift from a case of embezzlement to another defendant on probation, Ricky Rodriguez. While the financial amount might be smaller, the potential consequences are far more severe. The judge wastes no time in establishing the stakes. Rodriguez is on probation for a first-degree felony, and his failure to pay restitution is not just a financial misstep. It's a direct violation that could send him to prison for a very, very long time. The judge's tone immediately shifts, becoming sharper and more direct. The leniency shown in the previous case seems to have evaporated, and Mr. Rodriguez is about to find out just how serious his situation is.
Where did that all go? Over here. You're looking at, when you look,
I'm sorry.
there's an when you look away, that means you're trying to come up with an answer. That's what psychologically it means. You're looking for an answer of what does he want to hear and
No.
how can I make,
No, sir.
how can I best serve myself here on this? Where did it all go?
At the time I was married, and my ex-husband had a gym, and a lot of that went toward equipment, and we've talked about that before. And you had even asked where all that equipment went. The gym shut down and he ended up selling all of that equipment. back then. So.
What do we want to do today? So we have a minimum she has to make. Is that part of a probation order?
She's currently on an active probation, and I believe we put on that conditions of an active probation.
Your probation can be revoked, sir, and we are looking at a first-degree felony. You're looking at life in prison. This is the judicial equivalent of a nuclear bomb. The judge isn't just threatening jail time. He's invoking the maximum possible sentence for the original crime to underscore the gravity of failing to pay restitution. A first-degree felony is reserved for the most serious offenses, and the fact that Mr. Rodriguez is on probation for one means he was already given a significant chance to avoid a long prison sentence. His excuse of losing a job and taking a pay cut falls on deaf ears. The judge points out the relative leniency of the Texas state system, which doesn't compound interest on restitution, unlike the federal system. He's essentially telling the defendant, you're already getting a break and you're still not complying. The threat of life in prison is a stark reminder that probation is a privilege, not a right.
Probation to be paying $500.
She's on that, and she just has to make her monthly payments as a obligation.
And it's at least 500.
Right. And
You win the lottery or something,
Yeah, and I believe like during the tax return season, she always
So
take out.
we're doing, okay, 500 is 6,000 a year.
We know that
We can divide that into 80.
I understand your
7 years.
Hmm?
7 more years, you're on.
What, 6,000? No, she owes 80 grand. She
More
gets
than that.
6,000 a year. We're talking about, one,
Yeah, you're right.
6, 8 years. Right.
And she did mention to me out in the
No,
hall here,
more
she's
than
looking
that.
for
More than that. 13
extra
12 years.
side work, trying to help pay off some of this. So she's trying to seek extra work and additional work if she can.
Well, it's around you, you're like dragging a
That's what
gorilla
she's
around and until this can get resolved, but it's an obligation to fixing the mess. It's the way you fix the mess. All right, so we want to review it in 6 months?
That's what I was.
Okay,
suggesting.
thank you. Please get a reset. Daniel Jenkins has been reset. Ricky Rodriguez.
The judge's empathy is directed squarely at the victim, not the defendant. His statement, "I feel sorry for the victim, not for you," is a powerful rebuke, recentering the entire purpose of restitution. It's not a punishment for the defendant, it's a mechanism to make the victim whole again. When the probation officer mentions that Mr. Rodriguez's probation term is set to expire, the court introduces a crucial legal tool, tolling the probation. This means they will legally pause or extend the probationary period beyond its original end date. Why? To ensure the defendant remains under the court's supervision until the debt is paid. The court can't just let the clock run out and allow the $90,000 debt to be wiped away by setting a new hearing and threatening to file a motion to revoke. The judge is keeping his foot in the door, ensuring Mr. Rodriguez remains accountable for the long haul.
The defendant here is on probation, correct? And this is a review, and it looks like there's restitution that was owed in this case.
Yes.
All right. So how is this proceeding from probation?
Yes, sir. He was obligated to do 400 per month, but he stated that, he was having some financial difficulty.
Everybody has it.
Yes. so
Everybody has
he-
financial.
Yeah,
You can go to jail
so,
if you're not paying what you're obligated to. And then here, I'm gonna interrupt. Mr. Moulton, here's the deal on restitution here in Texas. You don't pay interest. In federal government, interest is compounded on your failure to pay. So it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper for people. And it's hard to get out. You're lucky because in state court, we don't have that. I think we should, because if I was a victim, if it takes 10 years to get me paid, I lost 10 years of use of that money and I didn't get interest. It's just required to pay back the loss. You seem to be able to work.
Leaving the world of criminal probation behind, we now enter the emotionally charged and financially complex realm of family court. The next case involves Darren Hanks in a dispute over child support. The issue starts as a simple clerical error, a $1 discrepancy in a court order over monthly medical support. However, this small clarification is about to open a Pandora's box of massive unpaid obligations. The state is not just here to fix a typo, they are here to confirm arrears for child support, medical support, and dental support that have ballooned into tens of thousands of dollars. We're about to witness a father agree to a series of payments, seemingly without grasping the crushing weight of the total monthly sum until it's too late.
And I'm not satisfied with what's going on here. There should be no failure on your part. But if the court finds that you could have paid, but you didn't, your probation can be revoked, sir. And we are looking at a first-degree felony. Or you're looking at life in prison.
I had lost my job, you know.
Well, no, everybody loses jobs, and you get another one.
I did, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. Well, what are we going to do about getting back in the game here?
Until I get a better job, I'm having trouble paying $400. I'm not getting to 25 that I was getting on the last job. I'm getting 18 now. So that hurts.
So what are you able to do now, and what are you doing about it to kind of increase the income?
I'm still paying a monthly. It's just not the 400.
Sir?
I can do 200. Yes, sir.
All right. You got to do it until things change for the better. You're obligated a minimum of $200.
Yes, sir.
But this isn't going away.
No, sir.
And the what is the total amount due? Yes, ma'am.
Owes $49,201 to restitution.
Okay. So that's 20 years at the rate of 200 a month. I hope you live so long, but that's not helping the victim get restitution timely. And this is what we do to fix messes if there's a loss. You can't undo the harm, but you can at least financially reimburse as best you can to put them back into a balance. I feel sorry for the victim, not for you.
Yes.
And you're gonna have to do better. Probation, what do you say on that decision?
Yes, sir. I'm in agreement with that. Last court date, we did state that if he wasn't able to pay the max by August, which expires this year, that we would file an MTRP to hold them.
We're gonna have to do that because the way it stands, he's not going to be able to get it done. So we're going to have to.
This is a fascinating and crucial moment. The state's attorney systematically goes through each category of debt Mr. Hanks owes: the child support arrears of over $22,000, the medical support arrears over $2,200, and the dental support arrears over $1,600. For each one, she proposes a monthly repayment amount, $110, $100, and $25 respectively. To each individual proposal, Mr. Hanks calmly agrees. I agree with that, he says again and again. He seems to be processing these as small, manageable figures, but he's missing the bigger picture. He hasn't added these payments to his existing ongoing monthly child support of over $1,000. It's a classic case of not seeing the forest for the trees. He's agreeing to the individual trees without realizing he's about to be hit by the entire forest. His final question, "I would like to know my total amount," sets the stage for a dramatic reveal.
Toll the probation. In other words, keep it lingering until he can pay it back. So when is the date?
August the 10th of this year.
Let's have a hearing in June here to see where he is financially, and then at that time the state will have enough time and notice to put together a motion to revoke probation if necessary, just so that we can continue. If we can extend his probation, but we can't do it past the 10 years without a motion.
Yes, he'll be 10 years this year.
And, okay, on 8/11. Okay, we'll have a hearing back in June and see where he is on that. And there may be a motion filed so that we can keep our foot in the door.
Yes, sir.
But what's keeping you out of jail is you're paying all you can. And that's what you have to do to get this until it's paid down. Okay, thank you. April St. Julian, get a resetting, sir. Thank you. April St. Julian.
Testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Copy that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And there it is, the moment of sticker shock. The total monthly payment comes to $1,927. And Mr. Hanks's reaction is instant and absolute. "No, I'm not in agreement with that." The calm, agreeable man from moments before is gone, replaced by someone who has just been hit by a financial freight train. His prior agreements on the individual amounts are now meaningless in the face of this overwhelming total. He immediately protests that the amount is too high, but he's in a legal bind. The hearing today was only to clarify an old order and confirm the arrears. It was not a hearing to modify his support based on his current income. He has walked into a courtroom to fix a $1 discrepancy and is walking out with a court-ordered monthly payment of nearly $2,000, a sum he clearly cannot afford.
Your Honor, we are here on a motion to clarify. The prior order had a discrepancy in regard to the amount of medical support that Mr. Hanks was to pay. There's one line that reads he was ordered to pay $564 per month in cash medical support. And then the next paragraph states that he's to pay $563.83 in cash medical support. And so we filed a clarification in regards to that. And are requesting that the divorce decree be clarified to show that the cash medical support is actually $564 per month beginning June 1st, 2021. Additionally, that's the amount of money, that's the amount of medical support we have on our system. And so based on that, we are also asking to confirm medical support arrears today for Mr. Hanks, as well as child support and dental support arrears. I believe that Ms. Mathis is in agreement with the state's request. However, I do not think that the father is in agreement. The state calls the mother Ms. Mathis. Will you please state your name?
Chianti Mathis.
And what's the child's name?
Troy Hanks.
And how old is Troy?
She's 10.
Okay. And you had a divorce decree that was signed in 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the state's requesting that it be clarified to show that the amount of medical support Mr. Hanks pays is $564 per month. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay.
The judge now delivers the final, brutal lesson in financial reality. He breaks down why Mr. Hanks's complaint about the high payment is futile, the amounts set for the arrears, $110 on the child support debt, and $100 on the medical are the bare minimum. They are calculated to cover only the monthly interest accruing on the massive $42,000 debt. At this rate, he won't be paying a single penny toward the actual principal. The judge makes it clear that to make any real progress, the payments should be hundreds of dollars higher. He then issues a chilling warning. Mr. Hanks is lucky they aren't in court for an enforcement action seeking jail time. The judge ends the conversation by foreshadowing their next meeting, stating it will likely be to consider to put you in jail. Do you think the father will find a way to pay, or is a jail sentence inevitable? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
And we are also requesting to confirm child support arrears in the amount of $22,046.37 as of December 31st, 2023. Do you believe that amount is accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're requesting that Mr. Hanks be ordered to pay that balance at $110 per month beginning February 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And since we already have the medical support of $564 per month on our system, we're showing that his medical support arrears are $20,276.91 as of December 31st. And we're requesting that he be ordered to pay that balance at $100 per month beginning February 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And the state is also requesting a dental support judgment of $1,644.38 as of December 31st, 2023, and for Mr. Hanks to be ordered to pay that at $25 per month beginning February 1st, 2024. Are you in agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been any family violence since the divorce decree in 2021 between you and Mr. Hanks?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any safety concerns with your address or your phone number being printed in the court order?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that since the state has only requested a clarification and a confirmation of arrears today, that the child support of $1,063 is going to remain as the child support amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you want the court to know about your case today?
No, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness. The state calls the father. Sir, will you state your name?
Darvin Demon Hanks.
And Mr. Hanks, the state is requesting that the court clarify the medical support amount from your 2021 divorce to show that your medical support is $564 per month. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
Okay. And we're showing that your child support arrears are $22,046.37 and are requesting you pay that balance at $110 per month. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree with that.
Okay. We're also showing your medical support arrears are $20,276.91 and are requesting you pay that balance at $100 per month. Do you agree or disagree to that request?
I agree with that.
And then the dental support arrears we're showing you owe $1,664.38. Are you in agreement to pay that at $25 per month?
Yes.
Okay. Has there been any family violence between you and Ms. Mathis since the divorce decree in 2021?
No.
Do you have any safety concerns with your address or your phone number being printed in the court order?
No.
Okay. Is there anything else you want the court to know about your case?
I would like to know my total amount for child support monthly.
So the child support is $1,063 per month. That's not going to be modified today. And then I can add up the rest of the obligations. Just give me 1 second. So between the current child support, medical support, and dental support, as well as the payment on the arrears per month, everything adds up to $1,912.17.
That's a month.
Correct.
No, I'm not in agreement with that.
Do you believe the total amount is too high?
Yes.
Okay. And do you understand that the court is not, we do not have a modification for child support, medical support, or dental support in front of the court today?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Well, the reality is that you owe somewhere around $42,000 total. That's a huge amount of money because you haven't paid your child support each and every month. And you're pretty lucky today that they haven't filed for an enforcement action where they're maybe asking for you to go to jail for not paying it. And the only reason is it's probably because of this technical issue with the medical support not being clear. So if you aren't making your payments, expect that's going to happen after today. The payments that they're asking for you to pay on the arrears are the most smallest amount they can set it at, because on $22,000, your interest is about $110 a month. That's what they've asked you to pay. You're not going to pay any principal at $110 a month. Nothing they can do about that. Kind of the same deal with the medical support arrears. You owe $20,000. Interest is about $100. They ask you to pay $100. You really have to be paying more. So when we look at the overall number and you say, well, it's a large number, I understand that. But really your payment on arrears for child support should be around $400 a month, about 3 times that. That's another $300. And your medical support arrears should be another at least $100. That's an extra $400 on top of what they've asked for you to do today. I can't set it any lower because you haven't made your payments. You have this large hole you got to dig out of, plus you got to deal with the future. So there's not much I can do overall to do that. I'm granting with the state's request, and that's what we're going to put in the court order. You got to make sure you're more current with your payments and make sure all your payments go through the child support office so that we don't have any conflicts with how much you owe, because you don't want to get further behind. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen, is you're going to get even further behind, but you don't want that to happen, because the next time that you and I will probably be talking will probably be for me to consider to put you in jail or not. And I don't want to have that conversation. So you need to make sure you're making your payments. The Attorney General's office will draft an order based on my ruling, email y'all both a copy. Y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
Judge, can I have a question real quick?
Only if your question, not to tell me that you disagree, because I don't really have to hear whether you disagree. I understand you don't agree, but I'm not going to just do something because you're going to argue with me to death after the hearings I've already made a ruling. So do you have an actual valid question?
How would I go through to get this? I understand that child support is based on the amount of money that I make. How do I go and I don't understand where they get the numbers from, because I'm not making that kind of money. My question is, what is a good step for me to modify this to actually show what I'm actually making?
Well, the child support order doesn't change until you ask for it to be changed. So you need to file a motion to modify. I cannot give you legal advice on how to do that. You can definitely talk to an attorney or go to a free legal clinic. They might be able to help you. And then you're going to have to present your evidence that you don't earn what you made before.
Okay, I understand.
I can't do anything. And if you ignore it, it's going to stay the same.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And so a packed docket comes to a close. We saw a sovereign citizen's challenge quickly dismissed, a stark reminder that procedural games rarely work. We watched as an embezzler 13 years into her probation was given yet another chance to pay back an $80,000 debt under the weight of judicial scrutiny. We witnessed a man on probation for a first-degree felony get a terrifying wake-up call, with the threat of life in prison now hanging over his head if he continues to miss his restitution payments. And finally, a father was confronted with the crushing reality of nearly $2,000 in monthly support payments, a financial cliff with jail waiting at the bottom. 3 cases, 3 different paths, but one common theme in the eyes of the court: financial obligations are not suggestions. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more in-depth courtroom analysis, be sure to like and subscribe.